Alright, we should be back now. I just lost power here and Wi-Fi, so the stream automatically crashed, obviously, but we are continuing to watch these tornadic supercells across far southern Illinois, and we do have a brand new tornado warning, and this is a nasty supercell near Newton. This is going to have the potential to produce a strong tornado here within the next 5 to 10 minutes, so if you're in Newton, St. Marie, or Hunt City in Illinois, you need to be seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. This is a semi-discrete supercell with an impressive environment to work with that's going to have the potential to really ramp up over the next several minutes as it has been. So please, if you are in this area, take this as seriously as possible and take shelter now. This is an extremely dangerous situation for Newton, St. Marie, and Hunt City. In addition to that, we still have our impressive tornado warning storm here. Again, a PDS tornado warning going out for portions of southern Illinois. This tornado warning has been extended out towards Paducah, Kentucky, and Metropolis, Illinois. This is no longer a PDS tornado warning, but it is still an observed tornado warning. Still likely an ongoing tornado that's going to be approaching the community of Cairo, Illinois shortly, according to weather spotters. So if you're in this area, seek shelter now. Again, I'm sorry our stream cut out here for a second. There was legitimately nothing I could do. We lost power for like a split second, and of course that cut the Wi-Fi out for 10 to 20 minutes. But we are back now, and we are here covering this. Again, an extremely dangerous supercell starting to develop near the town of Newton in Illinois, just west of Oblong and Robinson. Again, this looks like it has the potential to cause some extreme damage here if this does end up producing a tornado. So if you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. Again, taking a look at that inflow notch there just west of Newton, very concerned. Also, we do have an ongoing tornado via Storm Chaser Freddie McKinney. So we do have Freddie McKinney up now instead of Storm Hunter Media. I figured we switch it up while we were gone. And there you go. This is a live look from Storm Chaser Freddie McKinney. He has an ongoing tornado here with our PDS tornado warning storm. You could see it just a second ago. Now he's not focused on it, but I think SRM may still actually have it. So if we go ahead and exit full screen here, he's kind of in a partially, foresty area, so it's kind of hard to see what's going on there. That tree line blocking it all. A classic Midwest/Dixie chase struggle. But if we take a look at Storm Hunter Media, we're going to get this amazing advertisement first for Eve, the #1 space MMO, not a sponsor. And we're going to have a look at that, again, likely ongoing tornado still. Unfortunately, again, the tree line is just awful out here, so we're going to hope that that clears up and we can get a better view of this. But for right now, we're just going to have to wait and see what we can find. Again, if anybody's going to be able to see this, it's Storm Hunter Media right now, so we'll keep them up. But again, we've got to continue to watch all these supercells here, and I am not kidding, guys. Again, this one near Newton looks more concerning than most of the other supercells that we've seen today. So we're going to continue to watch this. Let me go ahead and share the stream out since we did end, but we are back now. Give me just a sec. Okay. So again, likely a strong area of circulation. They're located over Shamrock, Illinois. Again, here's your winds going towards the radar, and here's your winds going away from the radar. That's indicative of a strong area of broad velocities there, just southwest of Shamrock. Again, no signs of a correlation coefficient drop just yet, so there's no proof that we have an ongoing tornado with this. I will note that this is kind of partially merged with a secondary supercell, but it's starting to split, and that's the whole reason that this intensified to begin with. Now that this is in a discrete environment, it's going to show us the true potential that these storms are going to have as they push east-northeastward. Again, whenever you've got a situation where you've got 5,000 to 6,000 cape, you are going to see something. You're going to see something. We are still concerned here, absolutely, about our supercell along the Ohio River. Again, this does still have a PDS tornado warning for Cairo and Charleston in Missouri, but the new tornado warning, again, extending further off to the east, is no longer PDS, but it is still an observed tornado warning. Again, we do have, a off-and-on look at a tornado there via Storm Hunter Media and Freddie McKinney, approaching Paducah, Kentucky, and Metropolis, Illinois. So if you're in this area, you need to be either underground in a storm shelter or on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation for Paducah and surrounding areas here. I mean, This is a very nasty tornado that we've had off and on. I mean, it's gone from twins to a cone to a stovepipe to occluded, and now it's back on the ground once again. Again, you can see that little lowering there. We do have a ground circulation, so it's an uncondensed tornado that we do have ongoing. You can see this going right now. Again, this is moving off to the east-northeast towards Charleston, as well as towards the Paducah, Kentucky area. So if you're in this region, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, a pretty concerning look there at our feed there from Freddie McKinney. Again, the tree line is just so awful out here, unfortunately, but you can still see that very clear indication that we do have an ongoing tornado. You can see that funnel, and then he's also kind of zoomed in on what may be some ground circulation there. So we're going to continue to watch that over the next several minutes. Our supercell near Newton, Illinois is continuing to look more and more impressive. I mean, this is textbook, guys. So we're going to continue to watch out for that. But at the moment, our main focus obviously has to be on our ongoing tornado here. Again, no signs of any ground circulation at this point. But still a pretty intense area of rotation on the radar, and still definitely has the potential to recycle once again, as it has many a times before. So going back to the main layout here again, taking a look at our supercell near Newton, Illinois, you'll notice that that rotation is really starting to ramp up. If we look higher up into the atmosphere there at the tilt 2 velocities, you can't quite see as much because unfortunately we are a little ways away from radar, so it kind of messes with the contamination feature. But if we take a look at radar scope, let's see if we can bring this up. Okay, so new velocity scan just came in there. Still got that broad area rotation located just over Shamrock, southwest of St. Marie. So again, St. Marie and Newton, you guys need to be in your safe spot, either underground or in a storm shelter. Again, no signs that this is an ongoing tornado, but that could change literally any minute. So again, please make sure that you are taking this seriously and taking shelter. Let's go ahead and see here what things look like on, let's look at the storm relative velocities. That'll kind of give us a better idea. Yeah, so again, you can kind of see where that area of rotation is going to be located. It's kind of just over Shamrock there at the moment. Again, it's moving off to the east-northeast pretty quickly. It's warned for moving northeast at 65 miles an hour, or 50 miles an hour, I guess, but still very impressive. So we're going to continue to see what happens. We now have multiple injuries confirmed from the reported St. Louis strong tornado. Unfortunately, that is something that we were expecting to happen because, again, whenever you've got a tornado that has that little leeway time with the warning, the warning only got issued like 5 minutes before the actual tornado touchdown. Not to the fault of the National Weather Service, but it spun up so quickly as the clearing started with the inflow notch. But whenever that happened and that strong tornado touchdown in a metro area, even if the warning did come out quick enough, there's going to be somebody, unfortunately, that doesn't take it properly, and they're going to do something stupid, and they're going to try to ride it out in their living room, and it just doesn't work, which is why we end up saying, tornadic fatalities in the first place. But, again, very unfortunate to see, but unfortunately, it's somewhat expected. But thank you for the update. Again, likely still an ongoing tornado, or at least a very clear lowering there via Storm Under Media and Freddie McKinney with our supercell approaching Paducah, Kentucky. Again, we still technically have a PDS tornado warning, but at this point it is just an observed tornado along the Illinois, Kentucky, Missouri tri-state region, just near the community of Cairo, just now crossing the Missouri-Kentucky state line. I would also like to note our supercell near Jonesboro, Illinois, starting to develop something that may resemble an LP hook echo. As of right now, nothing too impressive in terms of rotation, but we'll continue to watch that as that moves off to the east. And then going back over to Newton. Again, I really think that if this backside supercell wasn't here, that this would be actively producing a strong tornado. We've seen it so many times today. As soon as that cell gets discrete, it's going to have a huge potential to do something. So again, not trying to scare you, but if you are south of Newton or in St. Marie or even in Hunt City, we need you to be in your safe spot. Very likely that they're going to extend this tornado warning pretty soon out towards Oblong and Robinson, so be prepared to seek shelter in those areas. Going back down to our storm along the Ohio River at this point. Again, it's right at the where the Mississippi meets the Ohio. Again, a noticeable lowering is definitely appearing there on Storm Under Media, just in the middle of your screen, kind of. It's kind of hard to see because we're quite far away from where this actually is, and then also it doesn't help that we're moving over a bridge right now, but we'll see what happens. Again, there's no guarantee that this is going to just kind of die out because it's got a discrete environment, extremely discrete environment. This is the area with the most instability today. I mean, if something were to happen, it would be with this supercell. So, again, we need everybody in and around this tornado warning polygon to be taking this incredibly seriously. I'm still concerned about these supercells developing a little bit off to the north as well. Again, really got to watch that supercell near Newton, though. I don't think that that's one that you're going to be able to play around with. Again, the velocities don't look too impressive, but I really think they could ramp up if we start to see that backside supercell become detached from this one, and this one becomes discrete and has its own environment to take advantage of, right? We do have a couple of supercells rising off to the east-northeast as well. They're near Salem and as well near Louisville, Illinois. These are probably not going to be able to do quite as much just because the environment out here has already been utilized by multiple other supercells. But we'll see. It's not out of the question for them to do something. We did just get a new huge severe thunderstorm warning, a couple of them actually. One of them going out for Champaign, Urbana, and Danville, Illinois. This is for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour, nickel-sized hail, and then one on the Indiana side of the state line. This is for Attica, Lafayette, and Crawfordsville in western Indiana, and this is for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. This is the cluster of storms that literally just hit me. We did have a little bit of tree damage that I noticed while I was standing out there waiting for the power to come back on, but outside of that, nothing too intense right now. So, again, going back down to Newton here, it's really just a game of waiting radar scan by radar scan. Our new reflectivity scan has come in here, and it shows, again, not only a pretty impressive hail core, but also that area of inflow is very noticeable there over Boost. So we're going to see what happens. Again, that would be right over Highway 130 if that's actively producing a tornado. But yeah. Going back down here to the Ohio River near Cairo. Again, Storm Intermedia has, at this point, no real view at anything structure-wise just because it's incredibly rain-wrapped, again, which is an unfortunate hazard whenever you're going chasing in an area where we've got a P-watt of 1.5 inches, but again, we'll see if you can, if they can get a view on that there. Again, Storm Intermedia, they are some of the best chasers in the game, so if this does something, we're most likely going to know. Again, those winds are starting to get elevated as well. It must be real scary to be behind that semi there on this bridge, but again, our new radar scan did just come in there from the Paducah, Kentucky radar. That area of inflow is clearing out even more. I mean, you can see that just very, very clearly poking into the storm again. This is no longer an LP hook echo, but it is an HP hook echo, actually, a high precipitation hook echo. So we'll see what happens. But as of right now, no confirmation of an ongoing tornado. But again, that absolutely could change. And again, I think if there was to be a supercell that would do one, it would be this one. I'll be totally honest with you guys. Again, Paducah, Kentucky, Metropolis, Illinois, Cairo. I would be on high alert. Cairo at this point's fine, but... And keep in mind, this has a history of producing multiple strong tornadoes, at a point even twin tornadoes. So that supercell really does not have a lot of limitations, pretty clearly. And it is going to try to do something. So... we'll see if it succeeds. Again, unfortunately, because they're crossing the Ohio River right now, they don't really have a road network where they're going to be able to get out ahead of this thing and see the actual area of rotation they're trying here. Again, we're kind of losing their signal as well, because I've been out here, guys. The cell coverage, the cell service out here is awful in western Kentucky and southern Illinois. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it is very windy out there, to say the least. So, we'll hope that nothing too intense goes down. Again, the velocities don't show anything super impressive, but they don't always need to whenever we've got these brief little areas of circulation that just barely manage to get to the ground. They're not even condensed, but they, touch down for 5 to 10 seconds. We don't always see a velocity signature with tornadoes that weak. So we'll see what happens. Again, I would be nervous driving behind a semi here with, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. But they did just extend that tornado warning out to Robinson, as we stated earlier. Brand new tornado warning going out for Robinson, Palestine, and Flat Rock in Illinois. If you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. I will say we do have a pretty noticeable, or at least we did have a pretty noticeable area of circulation there on the velocities as of one scan ago. So we'll see what happens here over the next several minutes. But portions of Crawford County and even northern Lawrence County need to be in their safe spot now. Let's see. If they have Verizon, it's bad everywhere. It's crazy. But, again, we're starting to get to the part of the country where we're not going to be able to see much on chaser feeds. Because western Kentucky, almost no cell service here whatsoever. Very spotty at best. And when I say no cell service, I legitimately mean it. I mean, there are, areas where you'll go through a 10 to 20 mile dead zone entirely out here with no cell service in southern Illinois or western Kentucky. Obviously, whenever they get to Paducah, it'll start to get a little bit better, but until then, we're just going to have to deal with this spotty connection. And again, potentially no connection at some point. Alright. So, our Newton supercell, again, it needs to get discrete and detach from this northern one if it wants to do something. It's just been riding it this whole time, but it is starting to get there. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, still a pretty impressive area of circulation here with our supercell west of Paducah. Again, this is trying to do something here actively. So we'll see what happens. Pretty noticeable wall cloud on the left-hand side of your screen. Actually, I don't know if you can see it because it may be covered up by the overlay, but again, it's trying. It's trying. And we do have something resembling a funnel here now, so again, potentially a developing tornado just west of Paducah, Kentucky. So if you're in this area, again, you need to be in your safe spot. This is a live look from Storm Media. Again, horrible cell service coverage out here, but it's trying. It's trying. The connection and the storm, they're both trying. And they're both doing just about as well. But anyway, we'll go off and on that feed. At this point, not a lot else to say. I mean, our southeastern Missouri storms here are continuing to look somewhat impressive. Got some broad rotation there west of Farmington. Got a very wonky shape to it, though, because it's just now started to undergo those mergers. So I think that could ramp up with time. So Perryville and Chester down the line, I'd be ready along the Missouri-Illinois state line. Yep, there you go. If you didn't believe me, there you go. I wasn't lying. There are legitimately like 10 to 20 mile dead zones out here, guys. And this is the first of many. Let's see if we can get Freddy's... wait, is this Freddy that we have up? Yeah, it is. We do have Freddy up. Is that on... Oh, that's past footage, okay. I was gonna say, what are we looking at there, Freddy? But, again, it's going to be, impossible here to get any signal from our chasers. What's up, Storm Chaser 575? Again, if you're just now tuning in, we have a likely ongoing tornado near, Barlow and Wickliffe, Kentucky, Wickliffe. This is going to be moving towards Paducah, Kentucky, and Metropolis, Illinois over the next 10 to 15 minutes. Again, all you guys out here need to be in your safe spots. Again, likely either an ongoing tornado or a developing tornado, if nothing else. Again, I've been out here in this part of the country several times, and there's just no cell service. None whatsoever. So, it's hard. But we'll see what happens. Our Newton supercells lost any sort of rotation that it once had. Again, just this backside supercell, I think, has really stopped it. What are these polygons? I know that we've got different National Weather Service offices, but seriously, new severe thunderstorm warning going out from Marshall all the way back up towards Hoopeston, Illinois. This is for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, as well as blowing dust. It's a thing that a lot of people don't think about out here, but with our St. Louis tornado, we had a very noticeable dust storm move through the downtown metro area of St. Louis as well, which can heavily reduce visibility. So you got to be careful out there. Make sure you're moving indoors and avoiding travel if possible. But again, if you're just now tuning in, we are watching a developing tornado near Paducah, Kentucky, via multiple chaser feeds. Okay, we've had the weather-wise conversation. We're not doing it right now. That's all I'm going to say. Again, I'm just looking for any signs of what could be a little lowering here. All this is just scud. Scattered cumulus under deck. He cooked hard enough. Are you talking about for the June 29th video or this? By the way, in about 45 minutes, we're going to be premiering a documentary on the June 29th, 2023 derecho. So if you're interested in that event, make sure to check that out. It is the largest derecho in Midwest history outside of Cedar Rapids that's ever been recorded. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure to take a look at it. But yeah. Alright. What is that? Is that our funnel right there? Yeah, it is. We got a funnel cloud here, guys. It's hardly visible. Now it's not visible. Now it's hardly visible. But you can see that pretty clearly. SRM has a large funnel cloud right now near Paducah, Kentucky. Vincent actually just sent a post for... Okay, that's 14 minutes. Never mind. It's 14 minutes old. Anyways. We'll continue to watch that. Going back up to our Newton supercell, again, we're just kind of watching this sporadically. I don't think it's going to do much unless it does become discrete here very shortly and detached from this northern cell. But it's struggling right now, to say the least. I mean, at one point it had an RFD surge, rear flank downdraft, a hook echo, and everything. But now it's lost a lot of steam. It was around here where I was like, okay, we're talking strong tornado potential now. And it just couldn't shake off that other supercell. We do have a new tornado warning, by the way. Thank you for letting me know that, Mr. Packer. This is for Baltimore and Maryland. This is for downtown Baltimore, Maryland. What am I saying? This is for downtown Baltimore. If you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. We do have some broad rotation on the west side of the metro right now. But again, this is literally downtown Baltimore under a tornado warning. So, again, take cover immediately. I don't think it's going to be able to do much because these QLCS broad rotations usually don't last long with this little instability. But we'll see. Again, shouldn't make you take that warning any less seriously. Again, if we could just get past the hook echo here, and if we could get to an area that has freaking cell service, we'd be able to see this pretty well. But at the very least, some elevated wind gusts out there at the moment. I will say we do still have some broad rotation here pretty clearly, south of Oblong. Very broad, though. Yeah. Even the supercell to the north has detached now, and we're still not seeing this do anything. So, yeah, it's going to continue to try. I just don't think it's going to succeed. We do have a report now of baseball-sized hail from along Highway 60 near Barlow, Kentucky. So, again, huge hail with this. You need to make sure you're getting indoors and away from windows. Again, that hail core right now is mainly going to be focused over La Center and Keppel. It's a town called New York, Kentucky. I didn't even know that, and I've been out here. But yeah, we're just going to have to deal with the dead zones here, guys. It's a shame because they could be getting a really good view right now and we wouldn't know, but there's nothing you can do. Again, that twin... I'm still trying to get over those twins earlier. That was the most incredible intercepted twins we've ever had live. Well, I didn't intercept it, but they did. I just try to take credit for their work there. No noticeable lowerings here with Freddy's feed. Again, that's what I'm looking at right now. That's why we're not full screened. But oh, there we go. I was like, what happened to Freddy's feed? Yep, not seeing anything too intense right now with that. So while we're here and we're kind of in a bit of a break period in our outbreak, I don't think we're anywhere near done. I think we're kind of in the early stages of this event still. I really think western and central Kentucky is going to be a nasty area to watch. But while we're in a bit of a break period, I do want to note that this is only the beginning of an extremely active stretch of intense severe weather across most of the United States. Tomorrow, we have a slight risk of severe weather across portions of the Southern Plains and a secondary slight risk across most of northern New England and upstate New York. I would not be shocked to see an isolated strong tornado tomorrow somewhere across the DFW Metroplex area. If we take a look at the models here, we'll go to the HRRR. I actually haven't looked quite yet, the 18Z HRRR, so we'll take a look at that one and go over to our significant tornado parameter values. Again, this is basically going to give us the likelihood of this environment bringing us a supercell that can produce a tornado. You can see those values really get elevated there, especially across the southern portion of the DFW Metroplex tomorrow evening through the nighttime hours. So could an isolated strong tornado be possible? Certainly. I think that our shear is going to have to uptrend quite a bit. Our bulk shear as of right now really isn't that impressive. But I will say within the first 6 kilometers of the atmosphere, we do have, a good 50 knots or so. Obviously, it's higher where the supercells are, but our instability is obviously going to be no sort of problem. We've got 3,500 to 4,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE. Dews are going to be in the mid-70s. Pretty potent setup for some severe weather tomorrow. Again, really the tornado threat is going to be contingent on high shear and if these cells can remain discrete, and it looks like that's going to be a possibility. So DFW needs to be on the lookout for tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked to see a very small 10% hatch risk added somewhere in there. I don't know, though. It'd be very tiny. And then on Sunday here, we're not done. We're not even close to done. We're looking at a day 3 enhanced risk of severe weather from portions of Kansas back through northern Oklahoma. And I'll be honest, a lot of people obviously have been focused on today and yesterday. Sunday looks to be quite potent to me. So if you are in Kansas, or I would even say back down through the DFW area on Sunday, you need to be on the lookout for the potential of strong tornadoes. It's really looking like it could be quite a nasty event. We've got pretty impressive environmental features. The planes obviously haven't been super active this year, but I think they're going to wake up here very shortly. Again, even the NAM model, a lower resolution model, still has the idea of a couple of discrete supercells across portions of Oklahoma and Kansas. So we'll see what that does. Again, probably going to be a big-time damaging wind threat with that as well. And Monday looks just as concerning. We got that day 4 enhanced risk of severe weather going out for parts of Oklahoma and far southeast Kansas. Unfortunately, none of our high-res models reach out that far yet. But that enhanced risk goes all the way from Ardmore back through areas north of Tulsa towards Coffeyville, Kansas there. So Sunday, we got to look out. Monday, we've got to look out. But also Tuesday, we've got to look out. Day 5, slight risk of severe weather in play, going all the way from sections of southern Iowa back through Texas. So, again, make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts. The weather is active, guys. Again, late May typically brings us a pretty nice jet stream pattern for severe weather threats, and that is exactly what's happening in this scenario. So we'll see what happens over the next several days. Even the next couple of weeks in general look pretty intense, I'll be honest. Storm intermedia still just has some elevated wind gusts, some heavy rain. Again, no signs that this is actually producing any sort of tornado. But that could change. Let's see what else we've got. Still some broad rotation here, oblong. I wouldn't be shocked if they canceled this tornado warning, though. And again, those are the only tornado warnings we have right now. So, see if we can get any more updates for you guys out of St. Louis. Wow. Yeah. Seeing a lot of videos of just destroyed homes now. This is actually brand new. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Let me... I can't bring that up on the screen. Shoot, that's copyright. I'm going to repost this on my Twitter. If somebody wants to send in that post in like the stream chat, that would be very helpful. I mean, we're talking extreme damage. Like, exterior walls collapsed type stuff. Again, pretty nasty. Wow. So I just reposted on my Twitter. The St. Louis Zoo also got hit. Oh my goodness, yeah. The St. Louis Zoo looks like it took a direct hit from this tornado. So I hope that everybody's sheltered in place. My goodness. Yeah, we've got all sorts of damage coming in from the metro. Wow. Anyway. Also, pretty gnarly dust storm right now. This is from Normal, Illinois. This is just around the Bloomington area for anybody not familiar. If I could bring this up, if it would work, that would be great. Come on. Come on. There we go. Got some photos here from a National Weather Service employee of a really nasty dust storm. I mean, that is unbelievable. Again, that's something a lot of people don't think about with events like this, but very real threat. So stay safe out there and avoid travel if you can't do so safely. We get piano time. Heck yeah, bro. Thank you, Mr. Twister, for sending that in. Nothing you're expected in northeast Alabama until early tonight. And I think it would mainly just be a gusty wind threat in your neck of the woods. I don't think really anything too impressive can be seen out there in northern Alabama tonight. Again, you can kind of see the dying remnants of our massive QLCS. Eventually, we're expecting all these just to congeal into one big old line here. 8RR does that a lot, though. But some damaging winds, some small hail. That's probably about it. And it would really be kind of an early morning thing, around 4 or 5 a.m. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Sullivan, Indiana. This is for ping pong ball-sized hail. Damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour, and it does have the tornado possible tag on it, so it's likely that the National Weather Service in Indianapolis is not going to issue a tornado warning for this, and I don't blame them. So, we'll see what happens, but big hail, damaging winds, both possible. Summoner Media, still in that spotty service zone of western Kentucky. So, not a lot can be seen right now. But, again, downtown Baltimore still under that tornado warning there, but at this point the rotation's past Baltimore. It's in the Dundalk area. It's actually getting more tight there. So, Dundalk, Edgemere, be on the lookout. Be ready. But yeah, outside of that, not a whole lot going on. So, baseball-sized hail, again, reported from Barlow, Kentucky as well. Premieres in 30 minutes. Yeah, I think whenever the premiere's ready, we're just going to kind of take a quick brief break from the stream. I know it says we've only been here for 30 minutes, but keep in mind that was after the other stream crashed. The other stream was an hour and a half, so anyway. Maybe some sort of microburst about to hit the Paducah area, or it just looks that way because we're close to the radar. And those winds are not as elevated. I guess that would make it even more impressive. I'm an idiot. Our Farmington Supercell, as I mentioned earlier, it's starting to wrap up a little bit more. I mean, it's got a pretty clear RFD surge and everything, so areas southeast of Farmington, I'd be ready. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued from Paxton, Illinois, over to Fowler, Indiana, for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour. If you're in this area, make sure you are moving indoors. Again, got that QLCS heading your way, so some gusty winds going to be possible with that, certainly. Let's go over to a Robinson cell again. The rotation very broad at this point. So, Baltimore warning has strong rotation. Yeah, we were talking about that. They did extend that tornado warning, by the way, over towards Dundalk and Edgemere. So if you're in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, at this point, downtown Baltimore's fine. Terminal's better. Let's check it out. Oh, terminal is better, yeah. So again, that area rotation just moved through the north side of Dundalk. Again, unfortunately, we can't look at like correlation coefficient or anything like that with the terminal radars, but pretty impressive rotation there. So if you're east of Baltimore, make sure you are seeing shelter. Again, the Paducah cell, I think, is done. I think it's going to slowly but surely die out. The Robinson Storm, starting to develop something that may resemble some sort of inflow again. We'll see what that does, but that's pretty interesting. I'll be honest. And again, our Farmington cell, still quite concerning. No real intense rotation with that yet, but the reflectivity presentation is pretty impressive. Again, there's your RFD surge, rear flank downdraft. And they did extend the tornado warning for our Paducah storm further off to the east. So if you're in Calvert City or Eddyville, Kentucky, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately. On the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room, and a huge severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for parts of western Indiana, for Terre Haute, Greencastle, and Brazil, for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour and some quarter-sized hail. If you're in this area, make sure you are moving indoors. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't be shocked to see some localized road flooding if these storms were to slow down a little bit, because you're obviously gonna have a few more cells off behind there as well, so got to keep that in mind. Again, I love how we still have pork service out here. Again, really, Paducah is going to be the only area where we're able to get their feed proper. Again, I'm concerned about the Farmington cell, if I haven't said it enough. I would not be shocked if they tornado warn that very shortly for parts of I-55. And that'll be approaching Perryville, so we'll see what happens. But, again, outside of that, kind of calming down here a little bit, at least for a brief period of time. Again, Robinson cell, still trying. And it's going to be approaching Sullivan and Merrim over the next several minutes. Oh, nope. Kind of died again. Our Farmington cell still looks like it's trying to do something. Again, rotation's not that impressive, though, in the velocities. But, again, I really think that we can call it quits here pretty soon, at least for a brief period of time. Again, we've been live for over 2 hours. I know it says started 37 minutes ago, but that is after an hour and a half. Then my Wi-Fi kicked off. So, wow! Look at the rotation from the stupid St. Louis radar. I mean, higher up in the atmosphere, these winds are gnarly. The rotation is strong. But again, this is looking, however high in the atmosphere, 10,000 feet or so, probably. Maybe even further. Let's look. Yeah, that would be about... Oh, wow. I was actually way off. I forget how quickly it goes up the further you go away. It's about 30,000 feet up. Still, though, worth noting. This could be a clickbait thumbnail right here. Mega Wedge slabs Paducah. I'm gonna send this into the boys, see what they think. But again, in all seriousness, what that means is that the rotation higher up in the atmosphere is quite impressive. So there's a good chance that we can if we can see that translate to the surface, this has the potential to produce a strong tornado once again. This has been our main sell for the day, in all honesty. What's up, Mark? For real, Mr. Packer. Again, though, kind of just waiting to see if any of our cells are going to do something. The main thing that we'd be focused on would be the Farmington cell. And even then, it's not too impressive right now. What are our instability values like out here? Yeah, only about 2,000 joules per kilogram of cape, so... I don't know. I just don't see it doing much, I'll be totally honest with y'all. Our instability is peaking right now. It's over 5,000 in parts of southeast Missouri. And even down into parts of Arkansas, Tennessee, and Texas, you got 5,500. It's pretty hilarious, but... Anyway... Watching this little cell off to my west. Fortunately, it's going to go just north of me. Screw the luck. But, pretty interesting still. Again, really anywhere behind our QLCS is just going to be heavy rain at this point and some gusty winds. And finally, they have issued a tornado warning for our storm east of Farmington. So if you're along I-55 near St. Mary or in Clearwater or Kaufman, Missouri, you need to be seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows and an interior room. Again, rotation not too impressive yet, but in this kind of environment, that could change real fast. So, you need to be ready. Again, if any of our cells behind our QLCS were to do something, it would be that one. But... Hot Springs, Arkansas, what's happening? Hot Springs, Arkansas is going to be fine. Mainly just some gusty winds, and that would be like 8, 9 p.m. But really nothing too intense for Hot Springs. I will say this event could have gone a lot worse, and there's still plenty of time. We're nowhere near done, unfortunately, but so far this could have gone a lot worse. I'm sure I'm jinxing it by saying that, but, I mean, this environment was so volatile. So volatile. I mean, I don't think the Mid-South's seen anything like it since, like, at least, I don't even know. Maybe March 14th was more impressive, but that wasn't really the same area. Way more impressive than April 2nd's. But 700 SRH and 4,000 mixed litter cape. Hey, I've been saying Sunday, Monday. I think that's going to be our next, potential for a major tornado outbreak. New tornado warning issued for the north side of Perryville, Missouri. It's an extension for our storm near Farmington. 2 different National Weather Service offices equals 2 different warnings. That's all I have to say at this point about it. It's not going to do much, at least in my opinion. That's crazy, Mr. Twister. I just now saw the message. That's wild. Vincent's gonna crash his car in 2 seconds. I'm gonna screenshot that and take it out of context and send it to him. It's hilarious. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna be here for much longer. In fact, there's really not much of a reason for us to be here right now. So I think we're gonna end off here. We'll probably be here later tonight for Central Kentucky. I still think that that area has potential. Cells have not been discreet, though. I think that's been the main killer for today's event. Obviously, still been very intense, but I think, again, it could have gone much worse. Much worse. So, we'll see. Again, it all comes down to, will this be a clustery downburst wind event, or will discrete cells bring us magic? And I think it's probably going to be the first. I don't think we're going to see anything too intense, but if there is, we will come back later. I took it out of context and I sent it to him. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next live stream. Peace.